I don't think people realize how insanely fit elite runners are. Let me give you some examples. This is Eliud Kipchoge. He is the Olympic marathon champion, has broken 2 world records and was the first man ever to run a marathon in under 2 hours with assisted conditions. Kipchoge ran the marathon in 1 hour 59 minutes 40 seconds, which means he averaged a 5 km split of 14 minutes 10 seconds. For some reference, the average person would run a 5k in roughly 26 to 33 minutes. So Kipchoge ran twice as fast as the average person for over 8 times the distance. Want some more perspective? Well, an average 100 meter time for a healthy young male could be said to be around 17 seconds, give or take. Kipchoge ran that speed over 420 times in a row. His pace was faster than the third lap of the Olympic 1500 meter final. I mean, to be honest, most things were faster than that. My god, man. In order to achieve these insane times, Kipchoge naturally had to put in a huge amount of training, running up to 220 kilometers a week. Can you imagine running 220 kilometers a week? That's almost a quarter of the United Kingdom. Or for my American audience, that's like running 2,405.94926 football pitches a week. And that's on top of doing multiple strength and conditioning sessions a week to ensure his body doesn't fall apart. Bear in mind as well, he doesn't run these miles in a nice flat park, the sun is shining, the grass is green. No, he's often running these in the rocky and muddy roads of his hometown Kaptagat in Kenya. His routes often involve large hill climbs just in case his training wasn't hard enough. Also, did I mention that Kaptagat has an elevation of 2.5 kilometers above sea level? Those of you who know anything about altitude training will know that the air gets much thinner at those heights, making breathing much harder. So Kipchoge is training this insane volume whilst the air is wafer thin. There's not a lot of oxygen to breathe in. This is part of what makes elite athletes like him so fit, as the thin air forces their body to adapt, and it increases red blood cell production when they are back closer to sea level. This is also why many elite athletes do altitude training camps in the build up to a big race. Despite being 39 years old, Kipchoge's career is still going strong, and he's the favourite in most races that he's in. Only 18 months ago he beat his own world record in the Berlin Marathon, running 2 hours, 1 minute and 9 seconds. Although this world record was beaten by now tragically deceased runner Kelvin Kiptum, it still shows that Kipchoge is going strong despite being so old for an elite athlete. Like most athletes, he has his eyes set on the Paris Olympics and is hoping to gain his 2nd gold medal in the marathon event, which if he were to win, in my opinion would reinforce him as the greatest marathon runner of all time. Now whilst Kipchoge might be approaching his 40s, running still does have its fair share of prodigies. Take Jakob Ingebrigtsen, the current 1500 meter Olympic champion and 5k world champion. The craziest thing about Ingebrigtsen is not just his dominance in his events, but that he has been beating world records since he was a teenager. In 2017, he became the youngest person ever to run a sub 4 minute mile at age 16. A sub 4 minute mile is something that less than 2,000 people have ever achieved in the history of humanity, as of 2022. More people have climbed Mount Everest than run a sub 4 minute mile. Yet Jakob Ingebrigtsen has done it before he can legally drive. On another note, do you remember Mo Farah? Whilst he may have not had the world record for the 5 or 10k at any point, something he was known for was his incredibly fast sprint finishes. In the 5k gold medal performance in the 2012 Olympics, Farah ran his last lap of the 400 meter track in 52.94 seconds. Remember that sprinting example I gave of 17 seconds? Well, if you were able to sprint that pace for 400 meters, then you would have run the last lap in 68 seconds, a full 16 seconds behind Farah. And that's Farah's time after running 4,600 meters in an Olympic final. I could go on, that's not even the fastest 400 meter split in a 5k race. That honour, from what I can tell, goes to Bernard Lagat, a Kenyan-born runner who ran 51.96 in the last lap of the 5k. He competed in 5 Olympic Games and is the 2nd fastest 1500 meter runner ever, on top of being a former world champion in the 5k and 1500 meter. So what can we learn from all this? Well, for one, we're all fat bastards who need to run more. Nah, I'm kidding. But for real though, I hope this video gives you an appreciation about the dedication and fitness of these elite athletes. And hopefully your respect for them has increased to the point where you maybe want to check out some of their races. If you want to learn more about running or are interested in starting running yourself, then feel free to check out my channel. And if you're interested in one-to-one coaching with me, then email me at ajanssencoaching@gmail.com. Feel free to leave any comments and questions down below, I'll do my best to answer them. And with that being said, I wish you all happy training.